Hi everyone. Today we will be discussing gametogenesis with mind map. So we'll start with the topic. When we say about gametogenesis, two things we have to study under gametogenesis. One is spermatogenesis and the second one is oogenesis. Before we start with the topic, we should know what is primordial germ cells. The primordial germ cells, or otherwise called primitive sex cells, derive from epiblast cells when the embryo is in the form of bilaminar embryonic disc. It migrates these cells, the future germ cells, migrate from the epiblast layer to dorsal wall of the yolk sac by third week of development. From there, it migrates to the fifth week, it migrates to the developing gonads, that is in the intermediate mesoderm. Now, about the gametogenesis, what is it? Genesis means formation. Genesis or formation of gametes or sex cells. The male gametes are called sperm or spermatozoa. Female gametes are called ovum or mature oocytes. Now we'll come to the first topic, that is spermatogenesis. Now what is spermatogenesis? What is it? It's the process by which the spermatogonia are transformed to spermatozoa. So it's a process of formation of spermatozoa from spermatogonia. Spermatogonia derive from primordial germ cells. Where it is happening? It is happening in the wall of seminiferous tubules of testis. When it begins at puberty and continue till old age. What is the duration? It takes about 64 days to be converted from spermatogonia form to spermatozoa. Now the spermatogonia, I already said that it derived from primordial germ cells. The spermatogenesis is regulated by luteinizing hormone and follicular stimulating hormone from anterior pituitary. Of course, the testosterone is required for spermatogenesis. That is the male hormone. Now we'll see the flow chart of spermatogenesis. This is the flow chart. The spermatogonia derive from primordial germ cells. It forms type A dark spermatogonia. When this undergo mitotic division, it will form one pool of one daughter cell will be type A dark. The other daughter cell will be type A pale. Now this type A dark will go back to the reserve pool and it will remain in the same number. The type A pale will undergo further differentiation and it forms type B cells by mitotic division. This type B will undergo further differentiation. By mitotic division, it forms primary spermatocytes. These primary spermatocytes contain 46 chromosomes, 44 autosomes and 2 sex chromosomes, that is XY, and the chromosomes will be having double chromatids. It is a diploid cell. Now, this primary spermatocytes undergo first meiotic division, that is the reduction division. So the chromosomes number will be halved and it forms secondary spermatocytes. It forms one primary spermatocyte form two secondary spermatocytes and the chromosomes will be 22X and 22Y with double chromatids. This will undergo second meiotic division and it will form two spermatid. Each secondary spermatocyte will form two spermatids. This will have sister chromatids. 23 chromosomes with having sister chromatids. Now this spermatids will undergo spermiogenesis and it will form spermatozoa. Now we have to see from one primary spermatocyte give rise to 4 spermatozoa. Now, what is spermiogenesis, by which the spermatid are converted into spermatozoa? So, what is happening during spermiogenesis? It consists of morphological changes. A rounded spermatid is transformed into an elongated spermatozoa. This is the spermatid here, rounded cell. It will become like this, elongated. So what are the changes occurring? The nucleus, the cell organelles, all will change. The nucleus will form the head of the sperm, and the Golgi apparatus will form the acrosomal cap over the anterior two-thirds of the sperm. The centrioles will be divided into proximal and distal centrioles. They occupy the neck and the annulus here, and it secretes or synthesizes axial filaments that form the tail of the sperm. It extends from the neck to the tip. Now the mitochondria which will get aggregated, these are the mitochondria which will get aggregated over the middle piece, and then it will form the axial the spiral sheath around the middle piece that gives energy for the motility of the sperm. Now the excess cytoplasm which is present, it will be converted into residual bodies, and that will be phagocytosed by the Sertoli cells, which are the lining cells of the seminiferous tubules. Now we will see the structure of a mature sperm, because sometimes you can get question on structure of a sperm. Now structure of a sperm consists of head, neck and tail. It is the length is about 50 microns, and the head contains the nucleus. It having a haploid set of chromosomes. It is ovoid in shape, about 4 microns length. The anterior two-thirds of it is covered by acrosomal cap. The neck is about 0.3 microns. It contains proximal centriole. Now the tail part is divided into 3 pieces, the principal piece, middle piece and the end piece. Now the middle piece, that is the proximal part, it is covered by, it is about 4 centimeter, and it is composed of axial filaments in the center, and it is surrounded by mitochondrial sheath. Now the principal piece about 40 microns, and it is composed of axial, here it is 4 microns, and it is composed of axial filaments. The end piece is only having axial filaments. So that is about the structure of a sperm. Now we'll come to the oogenesis. Oogenesis is divided into 2 sections, the oocyte maturation and follicular maturation. Now the oocyte maturation, we can start with what is it? It's a process by which the oogonia are differentiated into oocytes. Where it is happening? It is in the cortex of the ovary. When it starts before birth and continue till menopause. Now the flow chart we will see about for the oocyte maturation. As like in spermatogenesis, it derived from primordial germ cells. The oogonia will be undergoing mitotic division, and it forms primary oocyte that will have 46 chromosome, 44 autosomes and 2 X chromosome with double chromatids. Now this primary oocyte, as soon as it forms, that is before birth, it starts with first meiotic division, that is the reduction division. But this first meiotic division gets arrested in the diplotting stage of prophase, and when it gets completed at puberty. Each ovarian cycle, around 15 to 20 follicles will start maturing and only one attains complete maturity. So this completion of first meiotic division occurs just before ovulation. The remaining cells will be lying dormant. Only those 15 to 20 undergoes maturation, and only one will complete the maturation. So it gets arrested. First meiotic division starts before birth, and it gets arrested in diplotin stage of prophase, and first meiotic division gets completed for that particular oocyte just before ovulation. So after first meiotic division, it is an unequal division also. It is a reduction division as well as unequal division of cytoplasm. So we get one polar body and one secondary oocyte having 22 autosomes and one sex chromosome with double chromatids. Now it, as soon as it forms, it starts with second meiotic division, and it gets completed if it is fertilized. If it completes the second meiotic division, we get one second polar body and a mature oocyte having 23 chromosomes with sister chromatids. This mature oocyte is called female pronucleus. So that is the oocyte maturation. So after the one primary oocyte undergoes two meiotic division. At the end of these two meiotic division, we are getting one mature oocyte and three polar bodies, because as this one is the secondary oocyte is undergoing second meiotic division, the polar body also undergoes second meiotic division, and that will form two polar bodies. So total you are getting three polar bodies. That is about oocyte maturation. Now the follicular maturation, the stromal cell surrounding the primary oocyte will form a layer of flattened epithelial cells around the primary oocyte, and that stage it is called primordial follicle. Now this flattened epithelial cells become cuboidal, and in that stage these cuboidal cells start secreting the zona pellucida that forms a layer around the primary oocyte, and this stage it is called primary follicle. Now this lining cells, the cuboidal cells, become stratified. Multiple layers will form, and these are called follicular cells. Surrounding the follicular cells there is a basal lamina. Around that, external to that, the stromal cells further differentiate to form a layer of cellular layer that is called tunica intima, and outer fibrous layer that is called theca intima and theca externa. Now this within the multi-stratified layer, the fluid gets collected or spaces are formed. These are called antrum, and in this stage it is called secondary follicle. Now these spaces coalesce to form a single cavity, that is the antrum, and this stage it is called mature Graafian follicle. Now when it gets matured, that is just before ovulation, you will be getting a polar body in the perivitelline space, that is a space between the oolemma and the zona pellucida. You get the first polar body, that is just before ovulation. So this stage it is called Graafian follicle. The layers of Graafian follicle, we have the secondary oocyte here, the first polar body here, the zona pellucida. Surrounding that the cells are there, they are called cumulus ovoricus, and outside this is the antrum. Outside the antrum we have membrana granulosa, and outer to that is the theca interna and then theca externa. These are the layers of Graafian follicle. You may get a short note on Graafian follicle also.